This is the 8th festival. It's growing year on year. People are just starting to realise how wonderful science is, how interesting and exciting. But we also work with artists and we use lots of different art forms to disseminate science. So it's just about you know, being really creative with the science.
Imagine breaking a code which would help win a war. Well, the Manchester Science Festival showcases how Manchester mathematician Alan Turing did just that. But his next puzzle was of a slightly different nature.
After the war was he started thinking about the question, why do some animals have stripes, some animals have spots? How do patterns develop from mixtures of chemicals? And what he showed by considering just a simple set of equations involving two chemicals reacting together was that if you have a little bit of diffusion, and if you combine diffusion with reaction at just the right rate, you can get vastly different patterns, either spots or stripes, with a tiny change in just one variable in the system.
From skin patterns to sound patterns. An exhibition by Marcus Coates exploring animal sounds saw the collaboration of art and science. He and his colleague Jeff Sample explain more.
For a long time I've been working with animal sounds, especially birdsong actually, and how it relates to human voice calls and songs and just speaking. And noticed that when you slow down birdsong, it sounds remarkably like the human voice. And similarly, if you speed up the human voice, it sounds like birdsong. So I thought, how does this relate to the rest of the species on the planet? If you speed up a whale song, what would that sound like? If you slow down a very high-pitched cricket song or stridulation, what would that sound like? So I started to explore all these different sounds.
I've read quite a lot about how our closest relatives, the gorillas, chimpanzees and bonobos, the communication, the chattering and the social calls of them, it's incredibly subtle. And that was, without doing this with Marcus, you see, I would never have come across that.
As an artist, it's quite interesting because normally I'm in art exhibitions. But to be part of a science festival, I love that crossover because there's so many scientific elements in this work and that normally gets lost in an art environment. So I like those two coming together. I think art can offer science a lot and vice versa.
And it was mind games next as I tried the virtual reality headset. It allows you to experience other worlds, but it's also giving those working in medicine and the military some real life experiences.
It's also seeing use by people like surgeons and people who work in dangerous environments. By wearing the Rift, they are able to effectively feel like they are in that environment and gain an appreciation of what it might be like if they were to, for example, perform a surgery or have to defuse a bomb.
Another innovation helping the medical world is 3D printing. It is hoped that in the near future, vital organs and medicine could be made using this technology.
The reason it's so useful in medicine is because it means that doctors can design implants and orthotics and medical devices for patients which are specifically for the patient. They can scan the patient and then make devices which are especially for that condition and that individual patient. There's a lot of research going into creating one tablet for a patient where all the active ingredients are crammed into one pill that's tailored especially for that patient.
Shiny, intelligent and strong, you might as well prepare for assimilation by singing along.
Hundreds gathered at Salford University's Media City campus to visit the festival in its 8th year. Lots of educational fun was had by children and adults alike, as we found out when we spoke to some of them as they were making seed bombs.
Are you two having a really good time here today? Yeah. And what are you doing at the moment? What are you doing here?
Like making little balls to put in the garden so seeds can grow out.
Yeah? Oh wow, and are you having lots of fun?
Yeah.
The event invited people of all ages to discover the technological advances in science alongside some crazy experiments.
We're using liquid nitrogen. We're from the Salford science team, and we're making ice cream from liquid nitrogen, showing how it's around about minus 200 degrees Celsius, so it'll pretty much instantly freeze anything you put into it. And also we're showing the effects of it on gases using these little balloons, which will shrink down into little, like, pretty much with no volume, and then we're very brittle and will break.
We saw how TV has advanced over the years and the skills required to develop this kind of technology.
And this is our 4th year at Manchester Science Festival here at the university, and we're here with a number of our television and mobile applications, because that's who we are. So we make all the BBC's television applications, and you know those things as iPlayer, Sport, News and Red Button applications.
So you should see bubbles starting to do that.
We spoke to 3 student dancers who took part of Transmission Interactive.
It was interesting because whenever I was doing the movement, I was very aware of what I was doing. So some moves were quite small, so I'd kind of make them bigger or exaggerate them to just kind of see what the floor would do.
Play with the floor. Whenever like the floor changed and stuff, like there was one point when it went into like all like dots on the floor, it was like white dots, and we all just wanted to get down on the floor, and we all just done floor work just because of the movement it created.
From singing robots, seed bombs, egg drops and the television evolution, there was a chance for everyone to experiment with their scientific side and get involved with a unique blend of art, science and creativity.
And lastly, a science festival wouldn't be complete without a few explosions. Let's take a look at those in action.
You get a nice bubbly lava just running down the surface of the volcano. Very violent, very bubbly and shoots high up into the air.